Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Cindy Daychuck with Queen Bee Creations. Thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to do an Easter craft. So I just wanted kind of some little bunnies for some staging and some vignettes, both here in the shop and at home. So I decided we're gonna make some. And I thought that while I was doing it, I would show you a couple of different looks. So to start with, here's where I went. I kind of drew out the rough kind of look. We're just doing this silhouette of the bunny. Obviously too small. So then I folded a bigger 8.5 by 11 piece of paper and I kind of drew out a bunny and decided he's a little too skinny. So, number one, first attempt. Number two, he was fatter and I liked his feet better. This guy's feet were too skinny, so I like the fatter feet. But what I decided was the neck was too skinny. So you've got to sew this or you've got to glue this together. And in essence, that's going to cut off his neck, right? There's no stuffing that's going to get in there. So I had to make his neck fatter. So I ended up with 3, and I like 3. He's got a little bit of space between his ears, which makes it a little bit easier. He's got enough space in the neck to be able to stuff him. He's a good size. So I just wanted to show you, I mean, I did them this way, right? So just to give you an idea of how I came up with the pattern. What I have, I've got 2 types of fabric. So this one I thrifted for $6 less 30%, which is $1.80. So in essence, $4 from the thrift store. And I have this plain kind of really, really light muslin sort of drop cloth. For each bunny, I need 2 of these. So I'm gonna do 2 bunnies out of this and 1 out of the stripe. So the stripe one is to show you doing it with a pattern. I think he's gonna be kind of cute that way, so I wanna see how he looks. This one I'm gonna do 2 because I wanna show you 2 ideas that I have for this. So what I am gonna do is cut this along a fold. And that way I get my two bunnies cut, right? So if I cut this along the fold, then I'm gonna fold my bunny over and that's gonna be 1. So I want to have this folded twice. So it doesn't have to be very fat to be able to get that done. Okay, so that should give me my 2 pieces for 1 bunny. So I'm gonna do this twice and I'm gonna cut the other one and then I'll be back when they're cut and we can carry on. Messed up my recording, so you guys just forgive me. But for one of the bunnies on that plain muslin fabric, I took transfers from Iron Orchid Designs, IOD. This is from the wreath transfers, so it's just in the black imaging, which I thought would maybe look cute, but you could use any, and this is a great craft to be able to use up any scraps. You can, in fact, rub the transfer onto fabrics. You want to have something that's fairly flat, not all nubby and bumpy. Don't try it on a corduroy, but you can definitely attach these, just rub them in, take a little bit more muscle, but they do adhere and it works really well. So for this particular bunny, I am just going to cover the front of it with some of these transfers. Use whatever pieces, colored patterns, anything that you would like, and then we're ready to go on this one. So look how cute he is with his transfers. So we've got him ready to go. This one, I kind of cut his head a little wonky, so I'll have to fix that when I get going. But he'll be okay. This one, we are going to stamp a design on. Now this is one of the old toile stamps. I just need to make sure I have them going the right way up. Ooh, let's maybe put cows on him. So, oh, maybe, oh, I could fit most of her on there. All right, let's do her. So, obviously, this technique is going to work with any transfer that you have. So there's no magic to, oh my gosh, I can't find that one that Cindy used. Don't stress it. Use any that you have, right? This isn't about having to have all the things. It's about using what you got. So any stamp, anything that you want to use is going to work. So I kind of added a little bit more ink. So because we're doing it onto fabric, I wanted it, and because as well, this is a detailed stamp, I wanted it to be a little bit juicy. I'm going bigger than I need. Let me just take this old rag because I'm definitely out at the edges here and I don't want to get that on if I can avoid it. Let me just sort of drop her down and then don't move it. Right? And here you just really want to make sure that you're getting it pressed down well so that you're getting that ink to soak into your fabric. And there we go. So we get this lovely, I'm using the black ink, we get this lovely soft impression on there, right? It's not as bold as the transfer is. You just go there while I can wash you later. And you know what? We've got some of these. I'll just climb these up the ears and along his feet. And we'll do this guy in the head. Perfect. Okay, I have broken out the sewing machine to be able to sew these babies together. You could try and hot glue them if you would like. I think that it's going to be a challenge with all the details. Not that sewing them isn't a bit of a challenge. I'm not a good sewer, so the whole going up around the ears thing could be a little stressful for me. But here's my plan. I intend to sew from about the shoulder all the way around the head to the shoulder, so that I can, and maybe like the shoulder here and then all down one side, so that I can stuff easily up into the head and the ears. And then once I have the head from the neck up stuffed, then I will sew the rest down here, stuff the body, and then sew across the feet. That's my plan. I'll let you know how that goes. But I'm just thinking it may prove easier for me. Now, yeah, I just think, you know, if you're a great sewer, this is like dead easy project, and you've already sewn yours together and you're done. You're ahead of me. If you don't sew a lot, like me, and you mostly sew straight lines, like me, just go slow. Go slow. Nobody has to know. And as much as I'm going to start sewing this, I'm going to shut you off so that you don't know. And then I can concentrate without thinking about the video. But I'm going to get that top part done, and then we'll get back to stuffing a little bit, and then we'll take it from there. Well, I don't know how I did, but we'll continue on and take it from there. His toes are attached still. So the idea now is to take your polyfill and just start to stuff it up into the bunny. Now you could have sewn the whole thing and just left a little hole in the bottom to be able to stuff it up. I just thought that I might be challenged to actually not get it up into the head, but to get it up into the ears. I thought that might be a little bit challenging if I didn't have better access to it. So I thought I'd do it in stages. So this is too skinny. Too skinny. And grab a plastic spoon. So I'm just gonna kind of use the end of the plastic spoon to kind of grab hold of and push a little bit of that polyfill up where my fingers are too fat to go. And get it up into the ears and up into the head, and then sew down the side of the rest of the bunny, stuff the rest of him, and then sew across the bottom. So that's the plan, and we're getting it in there slowly but surely. Our little bunnies are sewn together and they look really cute. And as much as I kind of started with the same pattern, they all look different. That's probably my sewing, but I'm just gonna say they took on their own personality. So the first thing that I wanted to do was put a little bunny tail on. Now, you could use a little pom-pom, you could use a little cotton ball. I'm in the shop, I kind of go with what I got. I'm not making a trip just for a pom-pom. So I don't know if that's economical or lazy, but I'm going with economical. So what I do have in the shop is I do have these cotton decorations. I have some on stems. I didn't ruin one of those. These are just on their own. So I took it apart for the cotton balls. You know, use what you got. So I am first and foremost, oh my goodness, come on, catch. I'm gonna glue this on. So I know that this is like the front and I'm doing it the back, but I really did these one-sided. So I'm just looking at having them all from the back. You could do this is the front and this is the back if you want, because they're yours and you can, and I am good with that. I am just making a mess of my table. I just want this little guy. And there, that was my finger. All right, so you could leave them at that, right? You could leave them just like this and they look very cute. I'm just gonna do a little something around their necks. So I think for this white one, I have some white cording that I'm just going to wrap around. Let me just get enough. Just because he's in white, so I'm just gonna do a little gentle knot because I don't want him to look like he's strangling, right? Have the cord hanging down. Cut that off. Just as a little extra embellishment. I did have these little roses that I thought that I was gonna do, and then I changed my mind. I think I just like him like this. I like him just simple. Okay, so I like the little bit of cording on him, but the white cord isn't going to work for these guys. And you're a little dark, you're okay on him. I may go with you. And I think that you could skip this, but I just kind of like them with a little something around their neck. I don't know why. And I don't know that a little scarf is necessarily weather appropriate, although it just snowed again this morning here, so these are Canadian Easter bunnies. Okay, so he is a little tiny embellishment kind of scarf, and I don't know, maybe do I have a little piece of lace that might work for you? Yes, okay, and he's gonna get lace. So the idea with these guys is just, you know what? Pick a fabric that you've got, use a stamp that you've got, use a transfer. I mean, you know, there's so many transfers, and if you did little florals with your transfer, I just did the black and white, but you know, you did a little floral with him, he's going to be much brighter. You could certainly do brighter and more patterned fabric than just the ticking stripes. But I think that they're kind of cute, and fitting them into like a little Easter basket with a bunch of eggs in there, or just into a vignette that you have with, you know, candlestick and maybe like a nest with some eggs in it, you know, those sorts of things. I think they're just a super sweet little addition. Let me know what you think of this one, guys, and you know, happy Easter. Look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care.